Hey y'all, thank you for clicking on my video and visiting my channel. I'm here this morning with a message. It is the morning of April the 9th, and oh, look at that. Another car just made its way to the table because I was not expecting for that to come out. I guess that means we gotta get one more. Let me get one more then. Okay. Um, all right, y'all. I woke up this morning with something on my mind, and it led me to come to my table, get my cards out, and get a message to speak on. Um, I don't know, I feel the need to start with like appreciations for folks who like my videos or like listening and like you who have subscribed. Thank you because this is just the beginning, and I noticed that stuff, of course, because it's not a lot of it. All right. There was something on my mind this morning when I woke up, and what was on my mind, I had to like force myself out of bed because I get into my head and I'll get stuck. And I really need to get to work earlier than usual today because I have a lot to do. But what was on my mind though was these memories from my past, or of my past, when I was in the most eventful connection that I've ever been in, the most romantic, the most the this I was with someone who I loved in a way that I've never loved anybody else. And that explains why I dealt with this person for it was 13, 14 years on and off. But this was also the person that introduced me to like narcissistic relationship dynamics. And this was the relationship where I discovered I was an empath. Um, and at the same time, there's a reason why the narcissistic and empath relationships exist. There's a reason why those dynamics exist because me being on the empath end of such a strong, fiery, um, encompassing dynamic with someone who really I began to eventually refer to as I called him the captain of the fuckboy ship. All of that aside, that was I've never experienced as much love throughout my body and in my soul and throughout my energy um, as I did when I was in connection with him. Now, is that somebody I want to go back to? No, like I'm not convinced that that's a possibility anymore. Like I used to always think it'll get better. This person will change and grow because time passes and we grow, right? We heal, we grow. No, not everyone. But this was someone who, all the negativity aside, we connected through intellectuality, through mental stimulation, through um, very deep and different types of conversations. Um, no lie, it was like my soul came to life in this connection. Um, uh, he was a music artist, so he would write music. Um, I would watch him perform. I would go to his performances and stuff. We even made some music together, but we couldn't continue it because the narcissism of his nature got in the way, and he began to uh, try and like bait me, use the music, my desire for our music and us to make music together and to push it forward. He began to use that as like a bait um, for like his sexual benefits, right? And I couldn't let that happen, so we don't deal with each other anymore. But before the truth was all the way clear to me, and before I saved myself out of that relationship, that was, I mean, it was on my mind today, this morning when I woke up, that I've never felt as much love. And even if what I was feeling was not, no, I'm not gonna gaslight myself. It was love, or I was in love. That was the reason why it was 13 years on and off. Um, High emotions, but yeah, so he could be very volatile. So that was an issue, right? But the thing that I was just pondering on was just the feeling of being in love. And I've had that feeling, I haven't had it since um, that person. I've been in love since, but not like that. Um, that love was like an event. It was like a series of events. It was like an experience. It was it was real, it was watery, it was fiery, it was like a portal to another way of life. Because I think um outside of that connection, like things were pretty sterile for me, like I went to church, I went to school, I was uh my life was wrapped up in a lot of obedient type of ideology, and just, following the rules type of stuff, in life, at school, at church, at home. Um, I would have some fun with friends and stuff, but I'm a lover, so I always prefer to just, be with my love, be in love, be around love, be um loving, be doing love however I could. And so when I was with that person, it was like nothing else existed. Nobody else existed, nothing else mattered. And it was always like I remember when I was in college, and I would visit home, and that's where he lived. He lived where I called home, and I was going to school about 2 hours away. So it was like I would leave him to go back to school, and it'd be almost like I'm entering into another like dimension of reality, because it'd be so like it was just such a bubble of love, but again, not always the healthiest. Um, but that was on my mind when I was in bed. Like I was just thinking about all the different memories. I'm like, man, I was really in love. And then I get up out of bed, and the song that comes to mind is "Baby I'm Yours" by Shy. So I go to listen to it, and really look at watch the video as I'm listening to it. And obviously, it's a song about love, but I haven't heard that song in so long. So it came to mind, and I immediately thought, well, that is going to be related to this reading. But, um, obviously it's a song about love. But then I was led to look at when the song was released, and it was in 1992. I was 2 years old. I was 2 years old, but it said November 30th, 1992. And so looking at the numbers, November is, um, what is that? Nine. In one way, it's the ninth month of the year, and another is the 11th month of the year. But then 30, which I was born January 30th, so that's interesting. In 1992, that's a 3 year. So you got two threes there, 33, and you got nine, but you really got the number 33. So that's interesting. Um, Yeah, because if I'm marking November as the ninth month, um, if you're starting with April as the, no, March as the first month, then November will be the ninth month. And that's just going with the astrological seasons, or the astrological cycle. November would then be the ninth month. And so that date, November 30th, 1992, gives you a total of 33. So that's interesting there. Um, 33 being master healer. Hmm. Now that's interesting because the next thing that I started thinking about is, well, first of all, I started listening to their other song that's a lot more popular, I think. It's called If I Ever Fall in Love Again. Um, is that the whole title? I don't even know, but you know how it goes. And if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. And if I ever fall in love so true, I will be sure that the lady's just like you. So that song really brought my energy up. And I'm singing it, you know, as I'm getting ready for the reading. I'm getting my water. I had to use the restroom, you know, washing my hands. And I'm just thinking, and I'm like, this is what I'm about. I am about love. And this is going to relate to the master number 33 because I do believe now perhaps I'm getting a message and direction of healing with love and not allowing that to be taken away from me, right? Because I've been through a lot. And I used to always kind of clock how I would say, like, the world be trying to, like, make me not love anymore. Um, with everything that I've gone through, it's like you want to shut down. You know, you want to shut down your love. You want to shut down your heart. And if I was on the other side of listening to, say, like my stories, but I'm somebody else, I would be like, oh, I totally understand if you never want to fall in love again, if you never want to give love again, or if you just want to, I keep hearing this word sterile. Like, you just want to go sterile, if you just want to, like, you know, kind of be basically like AI, like the whole AI um transition of things, like robots have no soul, okay? Robots have no soul. Um, you know, it, it's like what makes a human different from a robot? We have a heart, we have soul, but you know, I kind of feel like it's like a trick on humanity with all this robotic and AI stuff, because it's like you're gonna be looking so much outward, like outside of yourself, trying to observe these robots or AI, but then we could lose perspective of ourselves, um, perhaps long enough before realizing, oh, we're now the robots. Oh, because we don't love anymore. We don't feel anymore. We don't sing anymore. We don't dance anymore. We're not creating, you know, where is the soul? And that's been coming a lot to my mind, like I say, over probably the past month or so. And I think it's a calling even on my soul because, or my spirit, because I've always been a big soul person, like passion, you know, passion. So that was a part of why I was so in love with that person. That's why that those memories are so strong because we had a lot of passion. We had a lot of love. We had a lot of soul, even though it was a lot of dysfunction too. Just in the as just considering our connection and bond and what we would do with each other despite our own individual lives, despite all the other issues that eventually came in between. Like, the thing that made it such a strong bond was, I mean, we had music, we had conversation, passionate conversation, we had emotions, sensuality, it was heart, there was depth, like depth. Like we would talk about deep things. We would feel deeply. We would dive into those deeper feelings and emotions and thoughts. And it was it was romantic, you know? And I kind of feel like there has been a war on romance. And I do feel like I've been kind of taken to it, like allowing the ops to win in a way regarding my life, but it's only because I've been having to protect myself. But my heart is still very much alive. But I have kind of given into the ideology of like letting go of romance. Like romance isn't real, and it's like something's hidden within me today that's kind of pushing back against that. It's like, but it is. It's like romance is what makes the vehicle of love go. You know what I mean? It's like romance is the gas. Now that's interesting. I said romance is the gas. I was going to say romance is the gas that fuels up the car, that allows the car to turn on, to move, you know, to work. Literally, I looked up when I was looking at the details of the song "Baby I'm Yours." It said that the record company was Gasoline Allies. Let me see. It's on here, so I still have my YouTube up. Oh, wait, because I went to oh shit. I hope I didn't mess up my recording. Um, Gasoline Alley Records Incorporated. Now that's interesting. Cause I was not I didn't connect that until I just said like romance is that it's like the gas, it's the fuel, right? That makes the vehicle of love work, go, move. That's interesting. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. But it's like, it's almost like a calling I feel on my soul. Like, don't let that die. Don't let them take that away from you. And when you think about it, like these songs, both of these songs I was listening to, Baby I'm Yours, If I Ever Fall in Love Again, like these are, in a way, they're old now, right? Like they're not popular songs now. I mean, they're classics, obviously, but they're not. The songs that's being played on the radio, like today's hit list type of stuff. So it's kind of like they require a need for us to remember. I just heard the scripture, do this in remembrance of me. Now that's interesting because now I'm looking at my cards, and I guess this won't be a huge card reading. I don't think so, but I did get out at the very least three oracle cards from my Earth Magic deck. One is synergy, another is generations, and another is reflection. And so I kind of, that's interesting. I kind of feel like it is maybe even a cry from the ancestral realms. Um, and synergy is a big word for me. Uh, um, yeah, like synchronicities and stuff. Like, yeah, I don't think there's much tarot because now when I started looking at my tarot cards, I'm like, I don't really feel like going there. So I don't know, maybe for later, I'll leave them turned around to come back to maybe later. But for now, I'm just looking at my oracle cards, and they seem to be in alignment with what it is I'm already talking about because, like the synergy, and then the synergy card, it has a picture or image of kind of like nature. So I was even thinking that earlier, like how I know that I've always been someone about nature. Like I'm passionate about nature, or at least the natural state of things, right? Like, so now going even back to the whole AI and robots and technology talk, it's like, it's not that that stuff ain't useful because it is, obviously, but it's not to take over. the natural state of, say, humanity. Um, like, what is humanity at our most natural state? Like, we were born to experience and to enjoy and to love. I do feel experience love. Like, and I really feel like this is a topic that I once was so well versed on. And like I said, I've kind of gotten away from it um, due to efforts of having to protect myself and efforts of having to heal myself from broken hearts, multiple. And I do think it's just been like a fucking war on my heart so that I don't love. Because love and the heart charges up this fucking world. It really, they really do. And I've been through so much that has been, it's almost like if the experiences could talk, they'd say, what they would have been saying to me all these years is stop loving, stop giving, you know, stop loving, stop giving, stop loving, stop giving, which is dang, but what it would be basically saying, that can translate into stop being who you are, stop being who you were born to be, stop being who you were meant to be, stop being who you were called to be, stop going about your mission and purpose in this world. Stop it. And I haven't stopped. Now I've pulled back, because I've had to take care of myself. I've had to repair myself, repair my heart. Um, and then what happens is I remember who I am. You know what I mean? And then I feel I get even more passionate about it because I'm like, damn, y'all really trying to stop me for real, bro. Like y'all really trying to break me for real. And it's like I refuse. And oh my goodness, there's the word refuse. Okay, so I was listening to If I Ever Fall in Love Again by Shy, and I'm listening to it and dancing a little bit too. And I had the thought crossed my mind, like, I refuse to not love. Like, I refuse to let the bullshit and the hurt and the trauma and the experiences that I have not really enjoyed at all, and that have hurt me or that have broken my heart, I refuse to let all of that keep me from experiencing love. Because y'all, I'm over here dancing and singing at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning type shit, like 6:15 or whatever. And it's like usually that's not what I'd be doing. I'd be dredging, I'd be trying to get ready for work and just like dreading the idea of it and all that. But what had me moving? What had my juices and everything going? I haven't even finished my energy drink. And yes, I'm drinking an energy drink this early. But it was the music. It was the love in the music. It was the love that the music riled up inside of me. And it's like now I'm looking at my cards still, and when I see synergy, I see synchronicity with the natural world. When I see generations, I see the ancestors calling out like, this is why you're here. This is what we need. I see these hands on the in the picture, and it's like the hands kind of reaching out, like pleading, you know, like don't let the love die. And then I see this reflection card, winter solstice, and that aligns with what I was just doing, just kind of reflecting on um the hard times, you know, the hard times. But then I keep looking and I see, well, winter is still a part of nature. The code of winter is a part of the natural cycle. So, because love is like when love is at its highest vibration, it's hot. That's what I feel. It's hot, it's warm. It makes you sweat, right? It's, we're moving, we're dancing, or we're doing other stuff, you know. But now I'm looking at this card, it says winter solstice and reflection. It's like, well, that's a part of the cycle too. So do we just let go of love because we've had those winter seasons, those seasons of winter when love wasn't so hot. Maybe stuff was more so cold. Maybe because we were hurting. I look at the winter solstice card. It's the same card that says reflection on it. And I see, this is a time for like being buried up in the bed under the covers, maybe crying, maybe, reeling from so much hurt or whatever, and just, going to repair. And you're not really out there having fun. You're trying to just stay warm. You're just trying to survive. But that is a part of the natural cycle as well. So perhaps love has cycles. Perhaps, you know, maybe love isn't all about romance, but because there are cycles, it's like, no, but at some point we need to get the romance back going. We need to get the passion back going. And and at other times it's just going to be a time of rest and reflection and healing, you know? Um, yeah, because it's cycles and not everything is meant to just always remain the same. Like, not everything is always meant to just remain passionate. If we always in passion, yeah, no, right? Like we need the cycles, we need the ups and downs. I dare say we need the volatility. Is that how you say the word? Like, the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs. Like if it's always just a straight line, like doesn't that represent death? Like the heart stops beating, like the flat line. It's just doom, like there's no pulse. We need the ups and the downs. Wow. Yeah, bro. I don't know. I'm just that's what's on my mind and my heart heavy. I really need to start getting ready for work. But this is what's just coming through for me. Yeah, no tarot, just my three oracle cards. Um, love, like this, yeah. It's just like can't let the love die. But what's the opposite of love? The opposite of love, I remember I used to, well, I was, you know, initially taught to believe that the opposite of love was hate. And then eventually I realized the opposite of love is fear. It's not hate, it's fear. Fear will keep you from loving. Hate will be born out of fear. I think hate is kind of like it's like the child of a dysfunctional relationship between love and fear. But it's not the opposite of love. Fear is. Fear is what stops love, not hate. I don't think hate is the opposite of love. Fear is the opposite of love. Fear is what will put a halt to love. And that makes sense because you get into the winter solstice period, the reflection period, and then you don't come out. And I think that's what I was at risk of doing, what I've been at risk of doing, not coming out of that winter solstice reflection period. But now it's like a calling by the ancestors for like rebirth of that passion. And the ancestors card I'm looking at is a red card. It's mostly red, and red is all about passion and energy and heat, right? And it also has the snake of like snake to me representing wisdom and like generational changes. And then yes, again, like natural, like the natural world are getting back to I say my nature, but we can't get stuck in the winter solstice periods of our cycles of love and life because those are meant only for like pauses, like temporary, like sit out, like take a rest, take a break, you know, let that wound heal, you know, go and ponder over perhaps what just happened and maybe get your lessons from it, like, but come back, all right? Come back. I just saw, what's his name? Ice Cube in Friday when he was talking to Smokey, he was like, hey, come back, because Smokey was going to use the restroom. Anyways, 6:39 on the clock. I'm gonna end it here. I didn't expect for this to be what this was, but this what it is. And yeah, and I guess I'll end it with I miss feeling and being in love. I do. And that's just the truth. And I'm gonna just put that out there and let the universe do whatever it wants to with it. But I do. I miss it. And because I'm a lover and I'm gonna always be a lover. And that ain't changing. I've just been hurt. But I will love again. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna end it there, y'all. Thank you for listening. Till next time.